Hey class. So today I'm going to read you a book. It's a really cool nonfiction picture book about Apollo 11 called Moonshot. Um, so there'll be some similar parts of the story on the documentary that you watched, but this is just a really cool book version of that. So you can listen, you can look at the pictures, and just enjoy Moonshot. It's a really cool book. Had this book for a couple years, came out a couple years ago. And it's a little different because I'm going to be trying to show you some pictures from time to time. So if I have to adjust the camera and whatnot, just bear with me. I think they have this in the library too if you want to check it out. High above, there is the moon, cold and quiet, no air, no life, but glowing in the sky. Here below, there are three men who clothe themselves in special clothes, who click, lock hands in heavy gloves, who click, lock heads in large, round helmets. It is summer here in Florida, hot and near the sea, but now these men are dressed for colder, stranger places. They walk with stiff and awkward steps, in suits not made for earth. They have studied and practiced and trained and said goodbye to family and friends. If all goes well, they will be gone for 1 week, gone where no one has been. Their two small spaceships are Columbia and Eagle. They sit atop the rocket that will raise them into space. A monster of a machine that stands 30 stories. It weighs 6 million pounds. A tower full of fuel and fire and valves and pipes and engines too big to believe, but built to fly. The mighty, massive Saturn V. The astronauts squeeze into the Columbia's sideways seats, lying on their backs, facing toward the sky. Neil Armstrong on the left, Michael Collins on the right, Buzz Aldrin in the middle. Click, and they fasten straps. Click, and the hatch is sealed. There they wait while the Saturn hums beneath them. Near the rocket, in launch control, and far away in Houston, in mission control, there are numbers, screens, and charts. Ways of watching and checking every piece of the rocket and ships, the fuel, the valves, the pipes, the engines, the beats of the astronauts' hearts. As the countdown closes, each man watching is asked the question, go, no go. And each man watching answers back, go, go, go. Apollo 11 is go for launch. Ten, 9, 8, 7. Ignition sequence started. Flames push hard against the pad, every second pushing harder. 6, 5, 4. But still, the rocket does not rise. Mighty arms hold it steady. Hold it till the countdowns finish. 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. The rocket is released. It rises foot by foot. It rises pound by pound. All those pieces coming off there, that's frozen carbon dioxide. I love the art in this book. It climbs the summer sky. It rides a flapping, crackling flame and shakes the air and shakes the earth and makes a mighty roar. Armstrong, Collins, Aldrin ride the fire and thunder, press deep in their seats, their bodies as heavy as clay. The rocket below them sheds parts as it soars. Bolts explode. Engines ignite. First stage, second stage, escape tower, gone. The rocket flies lighter. The rocket flies faster. In 12 minutes' time, it's 100 miles high. Then, see it right there. The pieces fall apart. Then, after they orbit around the Earth, to talk with Mission Control, to check the course, to check the rocket and ships, the rocket's last stage fires again, pushing the astronauts on. And when the Earth has rolled beneath and rolled behind and left the astronauts go, the Saturn's last stage opens wide and releases Columbia, which was the rocket ship's tip. So all that rocket just to like a tiny little ship, right? It's pretty crazy. And also Eagle, hidden till now, a stranger ship, more bug than bird, a black and gold enfolded spider. There's Columbia. There's Eagle, the lander, and then Columbia is the ship. Michael Collins, Columbia's pilot, turns her back around. And locks Columbia to Eagle. Then Armstrong, Collins, Aldrin leave the last of the Saturn and travel on their two small ships, joined together, flown as one. They go rushing into darkness, flying toward the moon, far away, cold and quiet, no air, no life, but glowing in the sky. On board Columbia and Eagle, Armstrong's, Collins, Aldrin unclick gloves, unclick helmets, and unclick the straps that hold them down. And float inside their small ships, their home for a week. Here, there is no up or down. An astronaut can spin in air and turn a floor into a wall or a ceiling into a floor. Here, on those sometimes ceilings, walls, and floors, everywhere there are straps and screens and gauges, buttons, handles, hoses, and switches, switches, switches. There are food and clothes packed into corners. There are flight plans, flashlights, pens, and cameras. And they float too. They drift from hands and pockets. That's why there's Velcro everywhere for holding things so they stay put. See all their stuff floating around, their cameras, their flashlights, all their tools. Here, where everything floats, it takes some skill to eat a meal. That ham salad sandwich, watch the crumbs. Soup, it comes in a bag, dry as dust. Fix the bag to the water gun, fill it, mix it, stir it up. Cream of chicken, not too bad. Better than the peanut cubes. Here, where everything floats, it takes some skill to go to sleep. There are no beds or pillows, no night or day. There is always, though, the hum of circuits, the whirl of machines, the thought of where you are, and the thought of where you're going. I could imagine it would be kind of fun at first to eat in zero gravity, but get a little tiresome after a while. And one more thing. Here, where everything floats everything, it takes some skill to use the toilet. It takes pipes and hoses and bags, and there's no fresh air outside the window. And after a week, this small home will not smell so good. This is not why anyone wants to be an astronaut. But still ahead, there is the moon. Cold and quiet, no air, no life, but glowing in the sky, glowing and growing. It takes them in, it pulls them close. At the moon, Colin stays in Columbia high above, a single circling soul. Armstrong and Aldrin leave an eagle and take it low and lower. They have just enough time and just enough fuel. They have a plan and a place in a place to land, a chosen safe site among the craters. Now, friends and strangers in the distance down below stay up late, get up early, and stop as one to watch and wait. There are only maps and models to see. There is no camera that can show a landing far away. But what strange sounds there are to hear, whistles, beeps, and static, strange new words, and quick clip news of altitudes and speeds, leaping across the dark between mission control and the men who are taking the Eagle to land on the moon, who are going where no one has been. On board Eagle, Aldrin calls out information while Armstrong steers the ship. They fly low and lower, looking for their landing site. But now, Eagle, as they see, has flown too far. They are miles from where they meant to be, and below their small and spindly ship, they see no level place, only broken stone and rock, only shadows and deep craters on the great and growing moon. Far from home and far from help, still steady, steady, the astronauts fly till time and fuel are running out. Then there, clean and flat, not too far, 60 seconds left. Armstrong fires the rockets. Eagle slows and slower goes until a spray of dust, a bloom of moon, flowers up around her, slow and slower, low and lower, low and lower, landing. And far away, where friends and strangers lean to listen, where friends and strangers lean to hear, there comes a distant voice, Armstrong calling from the moon, calm as a man who had just parked a car. Houston, he says, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Armstrong is calm, but on Earth they cheer. Then Armstrong and Aldrin climb down from the Eagle in heavy gloves and large round helmets and suits not made for Earth. And suits made for the moon. Here below and all around them, cold and quiet, no air but life. There is life on the strange and silent, magnificent moon. Armstrong and Aldrin walk its rough, wide places. They step, they hop, as light as boys. They lope, they leap. In the dust and stone beneath their feet, no seed has ever grown, no root has ever reached. Still, secrets wait there. The story of the moon. Where did it come from? How old is it? What is it made of? Not green cheese. And up above, the ash gray plains, the sky is pitch and empty, and all the stars stay hidden. But that is how bright the moon is when you are standing on its face. but in the blank and starless sky. High above, there is the earth, rushing oceans, racing clouds, swaying fields and forests, family, friends, and strangers, everyone you've ever known, everyone you might, the good and lonely earth, glowing in the sky. When their work is done, Armstrong, Collins, Aldrin fly back together from the moon, which rolls beneath, which rolls behind, letting them loose, letting them go. They fly back together through the dark with pictures, stones, and stories, with secrets of the sky, with a view of home from far away. Back to family, back to friends, to warmth, to light, to trees, to blue water. Back from the moon, they land with a splash. To warmth, to light, at home at last. All right, that's the end there. Hopefully you guys liked it. There's a little bit of art there. It's a really nice book. It shows the whole story of Apollo 11, and I really like the art as well. In the opening part of the art, it has some really cool diagrams here. You can see just how massive Saturn V rocket was, and just a little tiny spaceship up here. And yeah, if you remember my Lego model in my classroom, usually this is when I show you guys how it works and how it splits apart and everything, but maybe I'll show you next year. You can see the other diagrams there. All right, that was Moonshot. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. All right, have a good rest of your day.